you'll notice, the setup of the company is quite flat. The main characteristics would be we have a separate group attending to the corporate affairs or corporate functions. Like you have the corporate human resources, corporate affairs office, corporate mergers and acquisition, corporate finance, everything corporate. And then there's another group wherein you'll see the operating units or the operating divisions. There is a group attending to the beer business. There's a group attending to the packaging business, etc. Excuse me. And then there is a separate group also which we elevated at the corporate level. Those are the subsidiaries or the new businesses or the small business of San Miguel. Maybe not of you are aware that we are into real estate business, for example, that we are into BPO business. So those are the small operating units. We have separated them. But just the same, we have a point person. So we call them general managers or GMs. While for the operating units, we call them division presidents. It used to be division heads or division managers. But since most of them, if not all, were already spun off to a separate company, they're not San Miguel Corp anymore, but they have their own identity and they have their own corporate structure. They are regarded as a separate company under the San Miguel Group. So you have the CEO, the COO, and then reporting to the COOs are the different business heads or corporate service heads. The most distinguishing feature, I think that's the one that I just described. No, we have to provide focus on the businesses, to provide focus on the specific functions at corporate or at the head office or headquarters. We have separate groups attending to those units. And then where does the communication function reside? Well, at corporate, it resides at the corporate affairs office. So later when Kin is here, should be able to share with you perhaps the structure of their own unit, wherein you will see there's a group of people or a person handling government relations, handling media, etc., etc. Up to what extent SMC's resources are invested in study? Well, Kin will be able to answer that. How does SMC communicate with its employees? We have several media being used. We have the internal communication. Do you have a sample? We have a bi-monthly publication. We call it Kaunlaran. It's like some sort of a magazine / newspaper type, wherein we give that out to all regular employees of San Miguel. Basically, it features, hi Ken, welcome. These are our friends from UP Manila. Yeah. This is Kin Lichapo. She heads one of the heads under corporate affairs office. So should be able to answer question number 2, Kin.
Number 2?
1B, 1B, sorry, 1B.
1B,
where does the communication run? The extent of the investment, how much do you
want to say?
Yeah.
No, but where is the communication? Well, did you explain about the CSU?
Yes.
So basically, it's not a line function, but it reports straight to the president. So I guess in that sense, it's being a very important function. It's alongside DHR, it's alongside the Office of the General Counsel, Finance, Corporate Finance, Corporate Audit. What are other CSUs?
We have chart here.
Oh, we have a chart. So,
But
at least they have the idea.
Sorry, is that the question that was made?
Yes. Well, I mentioned about within CAO or Corporate Affairs Office, you have dedicated people or units handling media, investor relations, etc. What are the other
Well, there are actually 3 main groups in corporate affairs. Advocacy, which is essentially essentially like government relations, lobbying, etc. And then you have media relations, and then you have business communications, of which I'm the head. So business comm would probably be at least under, me, would be financial communications and internal communication.
So Keynes Group is the one in charge of the publication.
Yes.
Yeah, the one that I mentioned, the Kaunlaran.
Oh, sorry.
And then also the annual report for the stockholders. So it's also Keynes Group handling that.
How does it, to what extent? Do you want to? Well, just to say maybe, like for instance, in the corporate affairs office, probably more than half of the resources are directed to advocacy and media relations. So if you wanted to be a bit simplistic about it, you'd probably say like 70% of total corporate affairs CAO budget is directed to the external audience, and maybe the remainder now is with internal communication. So maybe if that tells you how we skew or
the leanings in terms of the importance that we put into the different communication functions within the company. Okay.
So, sorry, what's the course is there? You're all ORNCOM.
Yes. Junior, sophomore.
Sophomore.
Okay. Exciting. All right. Any other questions related to that before we go to letter C? Are you okay with the answers? You should, because that's the only info that we have, that we know also.
So how does SMC communicate with its employees? Sorry, we have several means of I
This
came
is
from another meeting, so I kind of rushing
This is the
through it
publication.
now. But we have the
This is the annual
Kaunlaran,
report.
which is the newsletter, and the Kaunlaran has been sort of existent 1968, I think.
Precisely.
1968. So it's, do the math, how many? It's like about 40? Is that 40-ish? Over 40 years, no? But we're sort of shifting away from that. We have also other modes of communications, like we have an intranet. I can't sort of access it now because you have to be connected to the LAN. So we have an intranet that has sort of a digital version of the Kaunlaran. So I think we do it like most publications now. We like to believe that we're in step with the time. So like if you, for instance, you subscribe to Time Magazine, right? So you have like this bit of news on Time Magazine, and like for instance, you have portion of Time Magazine, you have 10 questions with Brad Pitt. So on the site, you'd have not just the existing sort of HTML format of that, but you'd have maybe like a video clip of Brad Pitt being interviewed, Brad Pitt's movie trailer, and all those things. We have a version of Kaunlaran that's also online in Exchange, which is our intranet. And the intranet, this one has a circulation of about, I think, 10,000, 10 or 11,000, and a pass-on readership as well. You exchange the money. It's a lot more limited. It's really more only for people who have access, sort of desk-bound, and have access to the Lotus Notes system.
Yeah.
So it's about
it's
not that
attached to the
many
Lotus
actually.
Notes.
Yeah, maybe 2,000 lang. So it would be only really here in the Ortigas facilities, the head office, the building next door. Next door.
Yes.
And down in Pure Foods, which is like just across the street from Podium.
Right.
So all of the people here in HOC have access to the intranet. Apart from the intranet and the digital component of this, we also have, and I think you might have seen it as you come in, the digital sign. Did you, like, in the lit area, there's like
There's
this
like a
little
flat screen on the wall.
Parang teleradyo, diba? It has like RSS feeds, it has an announcement section.
Scrollers.
And it has like ad sections and a little video of what happened. Like for instance, Mr. Danny, they had a Valentine's party last Friday for the HOC, the head office complex employees. And so we did a video of that, and that's on there. And then like they have something coming up on Summer Olympics on Saturday, so we're already advertising that, telling employees where to go, what to bring, what to do, etc., etc., etc. So that's new. It's only about 2 months old.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, just before Christmas. So that's a new component. What else do we have? We used to have, for the longest time, I think, started in 1991, news breaks. So in the canteens, what we'd have was like a news program, 5 minutes, 10 minutes news program of a roundup of events around the group. No?
Some kind of a TV patrol thing, but it's more internal to
Yeah.
us. So we have our own newscasters, we have our own
From
reporters.
employees,
Yes,
right.
we have reports coming from all over the country, or even outside the country, because San Miguel has international